are listening to me say live.
Okay.
It doesn't show. Okay, check mark, check mark, check mark, check mark, check mark. We are live on all of them. All right, go ahead.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody, it's JJ Conway and
Kobe Conway.
You have something to say for everybody?
Yes, I do. Honestly, I have missed being on this part.
The class with me?
The class.
Yeah.
We've had some pretty fun adventures.
And we'll tell them all about it next time.
Tune in next week for summer adventures.
What kind of adventures are we going to tell them about?
We're going to tell them about bike trails, couple conferences,
yeah,
family visits. It's a lot.
General Assembly.
Yeah.
Yep. It's a lot. Well, I just apologize to everybody. I don't know what it is. I've been back for like 2-3 weeks now. And last week I was at John Maxwell and the All Black National Conference, and I couldn't even get a lesson during the All Black. I was like, no, this is like the place that I want to do this, in the National Business League. But so here we are. So I promised him that he could be in the room with me when I do a lesson. And so I am going to do a quick lesson. We're going to talk about task job scams, all those texts you're getting, all those phone calls you're getting about, we saw your application and we think you're a great fit to earn $20 for an hour of our company. We're going to talk about that in just a second. And go ahead.
Most of the time, or always, don't listen.
Don't click the clicks.
Don't click the clicks.
Don't click those links.
Don't click the links.
They're scams.
They're scams.
They're scams.
They're scams.
They're scams.
They're scams.
They're just trying to take your money. All right.
They're just trying to take your money. But you gotta keep your money. But you still need money.
Tell everybody bye.
I don't want to say goodbye yet.
Okay, well then just be snuggled while I talk about the scam. So we're gonna do a quick mini lesson because that I realized over the summer is that, I mean, I've known it, but sometimes you know stuff and you get to listening and you just forget, honestly, and I know that life is short, and I know that our cognition and our ability to do life is also short, because even if you're alive, your cognition might be damaged, or your limbs might be damaged, or some other part of your life, your physical health might be damaged. And so you're alive, but what quality of life do you have? And so I reminded of that constantly, reminded of that time when I was in the emergency room, unable to answer questions, and the doctor would move on before I could form the answer and get it out of my mouth and move on to the next question. And my friends were like, you were getting so irritated and frustrated that you couldn't communicate. And, that was a very serious wake-up call to me that tomorrow is not promised. And so summer, some of you know, some of you don't know, I've had some significant health challenges over the last 6 months that I there's nothing conclusive, but they keep calling me back. So you're just like, okay, I'm just going to do what the doctors say and try to rest and try to do this and try to do that and try not to eat this and try not to eat that. So I have been trying to listen to my body regarding that. But I realized with this summer trip, I was like, my big one is going to college. And when he graduates and starts his life as a young man and maybe starts his family, I may not be able to hang out with him for a few years. We may not be able to go on trips for 5 to 10 years together. And there's no guarantee. I don't want little one to stress out or anything, but there's no guarantee that we're all ever going to get together. And even if we do, no guarantee that I'm going to be who I am today, cognitively to enjoy it or to be enjoyed by them. So I really wanted to sop up every moment of fun with my boys and really just kind of enjoy their company and make some really good memories. And I think we did that this summer. Yeah, we did. And I realized we're always looking to reach this and to reach that and to reach this and to reach that. But there are There is so much gold right under our nose. Like, I'm looking at my desk right now, and I'm going to be working. That was a repeated theme of the last couple of conferences, is like clear the physical clutter. But I'm looking at my desk, and I have so much content that I can bring to you. And you can help me hold these up. We're going to be doing a new mastermind group. Get the other two. We're going to be doing a new mastermind group. I'm going to introduce this to you sometime this week. And the first 5 people to sign up are going to get a free copy of mailed to their door.
Live life rich, cause you need money.
Yeah, Marissa Nielsen, someone who I've long admired on John Maxwell team. She just published this book, and they just announced the new Financial Foundations Financial Wisdom Lane for John Maxwell. And so she's going to be developing a peer faculty, and people who are going to teach on the concepts in the book. And I love the way that she teaches about money. Like, I teach about money, right? I teach about money, but I love the way she teaches about money. And so when they are offering an opportunity to do a mastermind with her, I was like, let me go ahead and buy some copies and bring some of my audience in, because, you know, all of us have different, even if we're both speaking about finance, we each have a different spin on it and a different thing. But she has a story that reminds me of my story. You know, she came from nothing, and she worked her way up, and then she had some financial devastation, and she recovered. And that's my same story, different facts, different avenues to that story, but this is the story. So I was like, I really want to work with her on John Maxwell team to help bring this content out to everybody. And so we're going to start at home. You know, charity begins at home. So we're going to be going through her book, and we're going to be looking at her principles, which are very similar to my principles that I've been teaching y'all for a couple of years. But you know, it's like how parents are with their kids, right? Anybody out there got kids? Now, look, I know we're super late. We're not at our normal time slot. And so most of my audience is probably taking care of their neurological health and getting to bed on time. But it's like kids. You know how when you have kids, you can tell them something and they don't listen to you, but then you bring in somebody else and that person tells them the exact same thing, and all of a sudden it's like, bomb, did you know, blah, blah, blah. So we're gonna do a study. We're going to do a study, and once I get that set up, I will announce it. I'll do a better job of publishing it, but I think I'll bring him back to help me announce it. And then will, and then the first 5, again, these 5 books are going to the first 5 people who register. All right, I'm going to drop them in the mail, priority mail, just for you. Okay. What's that?
You better register, because there's only 5 in stock. You see that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You gotta register. You gotta register. There are only 5 copies in stock. Sign up today.
They can't sign up today. I haven't built the mastermind yet.
Sign up in a week.
I better get it done in a week, huh? Okay.
Sign up in a month.
No, that's gonna be too long. Because that's the thing. It's like that's the whole point of this mini lesson. Is there's so much gold right here on my enough content. We're going to talk about that when we talk about the trip. There's enough on my desk, content on my desk, mine and others, that I could teach from my desk for a year. Not only that, but the memories and the precious people. The precious people in my life. They don't know that song that your brother did.
Man.
Okay. The precious people in my life, the people that are important to me, they're right here. You can't get anything better than a cubby hug. Except a cubby hug while I'm going live, knocking down stuff on my desk. What did you just knock down? Oh, this is a good book, though. Did I tell you about this book?
No.
This is okay.
I honestly don't know about any of the books up here, except this one. I still haven't read.
Very good book. So if you like history, I did show it.
Like, what's it?
It's in German. It's in German. They're not going to be able to read it unless they know German. But this is about the resistance movement during the time of Nazi Germany.
Resistance.
Yeah. So
anyway, I like that book.
I think I want to do a study on that too, but I've got to find some more of the English translation so that other people can get in it. Okay. So the other thing I want to talk to you about before I put him to bed and get me some dinner, is a scam that's going on right now. So a lot of us are getting these texts on our phones. Hey, I'm so-and-so with such and such HR department, and we'd love for you to apply. We saw you on LinkedIn and we'd love for you to apply. We saw your podcast and we'd love for you to apply. We came across your resume. We'd like you to apply. We came across your bio. We'd like you to apply. And all these things, they're trying to get you to click a link and apply for some jobs making 10, 20, 30, 40, $50 an hour, supposedly to do nothing, right? To just tick, click, click, click. And then what you find out is most of these scams, not all of them, there's different flavors. We'll talk about in more detail at another time, but most of these scams take you to what are task job scams. And what they are is you apply for this task job where all you have to do is complete a couple of easy tasks, and then they'll pay you to complete some tasks. The tasks might be things like clicking through websites, might be assembling certain things or testing out software, and you get your first little paycheck and you think, wow, this is legit. Or they well, that's another scam, so let me not confuse it too. Or they don't do that, because now I got to remember where I was going. Okay, so with the task scam specifically, the task scam is going to get you to download certain stuff, and you're going to download the thing, you're going to go into their ecosystem, you're going to start doing tasks. They're going to, some of them even pay you a little bit, but then what happens is after you get paid, you have to do more tasks, and they want you to pay to upgrade or pay to unlock new tasks, and it becomes a sunk cost fallacy. You've put so much money into achieving these tasks and you already got paid once, and so you're under this impression that if you just keep doing well enough, you're going to keep getting paid. Ooh, y'all, I didn't think about it when I was putting this together, but you know what that kind of reminds me of? Remember the guest we had back in May for Mental Health Month? We had the HG Tutor we had HG Tutor. I don't want him to feel like I'm disrespecting his name. I think he's one of the most brilliant people I've ever interviewed.
He's amazing with his podcast. I will say that.
You don't even get to listen to it because it's too grown up for you. What you talking about, Willis? All right. Anyway,
okay, well, I still like him.
Okay. Oh, you just like the fact that he's got that deep voice.
Oh, yeah.
And the hoodie picture on his website. Okay, stop.
Oh,
Anyway,
yeah.
y'all remember when I was interviewing HG Tutor and we were talking about narcissism and how the narcissist will pull you in with this amazing treatment and make you feel like you are just the queen or just the king of the world, and they just make you feel like you're so loved and so heard and so understood, and they give you gifts and they constantly text to make you feel better about yourself, and if you are thinking clearly, the constant text will be a red flag. But if for someone who's been emotionally drained and emotionally, I don't want to use thirsty because that has another connotation today, but emotionally parched, you're emotionally parched, and those texts come in like a nice cool drop of water on your tongue. Okay. And so it's the same with the jobs. Desperate people who are in desperate times right now, these horrible economic times that are tough for a lot of people. Now, can you make money and build wealth in any economy? Yes, you can. But a lot of people are having trouble right now because the inflation is outpacing their ability for their paycheck to keep up. And so when you put all that emotion together, they are receptive to the narcissistic behavior of these apps and of these cons that are simply designed to extract money out of your wallet. Okay. And so that's one type of these job scams. The other type that I want you to be aware of are these types that are really kind of like the wire scam and the check scam. These other scams, all old scams wrapped into a new tactic. So for the check scam, we might remember, hey, deposit these checks for me, and because I'm having whatever, I can't access my account right now. Deposit this check for me, and then send me half of it, and I'll let you keep the other half, or send me most of it, and I'll let you keep 20%, and then as a fee for helping me out. And then you send it, and then you find out a couple days later the whole check, the original check, was a scam. And guess who's stuck holding the bag? You are, because you already sent them that money. They long gone with that money, but now your bank is holding you accountable for the hot check. Okay. Now I'll never forget the day I deposited a hot check from my dad of all people. Y'all, he sent me a birthday check a long time ago before he got his life back together. He sent, and that birthday check, y'all, it cost me more in fees to fix the mess caused by that bounce check than it did that he put in the check in the first place. Oh, so goodness. Oh my goodness.
No.
So that's one. So that's an old scam some of us are familiar with. We're also familiar with the you can also see versions of that scam with like wires and transfers, and then we also see the scam with the gift cards. Okay, so where you buy a gift card, you read them the number, and they steal off with that card, and it's usually after they've kind of wooed you a little bit. Well, what some of these other job scams are doing is they get you and they say they're going to have this job and you've got this great job. You're going to be making $30 an hour. You just need to get some equipment and we will pay for the equipment. Wow. JJ's always telling me if I have to pay for a job, it's probably a scam. JJ's always telling me if I've got to pay for my own equipment, it's probably a scam. JJ's often telling me if I have to pay to do work and pay for my training, it's probably a scam. So this is great. These people are going to pay to train me. They're going to pay for my equipment and they're going to pay me $30 an hour. Oh, this is great, right? Wrong. It's not great, because when it comes time to pay you for your training or it comes time to pay you for your equipment, it's very similar to the other scam. What happens is they send you the money, they send you a gift card, they send you something else. You're supposed to deposit it. You're supposed to buy from their approved vendors on their special website. And guess what happens after you go on the special website and buy your new equipment for your new $30 an hour job? Oh, there's no real equipment. They just took off with your money. They sent you something to put the money in your account. You went ahead and bought it off their vendor site, and poof, all of it disappears and it tumbles down before you like a house of cards. So how can you protect yourself against these scams? Well, one thing to do to protect yourself against these scams is, one, don't click the link. Okay. I know some of us are desperate for work right now, but the important thing for us to do is to go to reputable websites and go to the hiring process of the companies we're actually interested in, rather than clicking some random text. And I know they're random text. You know why? Because I haven't put out a resume in years, and yet I still get, hey, we saw your resume. I specifically don't have a resume on LinkedIn. Specifically turned off the toggle that says I'm looking for work. I'm not looking for work. I am retired veteran. I can't even work a full-time day anymore. I can do half-time, but I can't even really do a full-time day's work anymore without severe medical consequences. So I ain't about that life. I'm thankful that the Lord led me this way. And so I know it's a scam. And so I want you to know it's a scam too. But let's just say it feels legit and you think it might be. Here's what I want you to do. Call up your bank and find out how long they, oh, my battery's running low. Okay, so let me wrap this up. Call up your bank and find out how long they hold checks before they put the whole amount in your account. Okay. Most banks today will give you some of the money and hold the rest. Some banks today will give you all the money depending on the size of the check. What you want to do is you want to wait the whole waiting period. Even if they tell you the money's available, in your mind, don't think of it as available. Think of it as not really there, and wait that whole period of time and see what happens. Somebody tried to deposit a $35,000 check into my son's account, and I was like, that is a scam. And thankfully, the bank saw that it was a scam, and the guys kept calling him, send us our money, send us our money, send us our money. And he was like, I can't send you your money. The bank hasn't released it. I am so thankful. I mean, people complain about USAA, but I am so thankful for USAA because they saw that that was a scam and they put that check on hold, and it never even touched his account. So he never even got caught up in all that stuff. Okay. And so you want to wait the whole 7 days or 10 days or whatever that is before you do anything with the funds from that check. Okay. The other thing you want to do now, look, I'm saying don't click those links, but you clicked the link, you got into it, okay? If you got into one of those check scams, wait that bank time and see if that check poofs away. If you get into one of these job task scams, even if they pay you a little bit, do not pay for extra tasks, because the whole goal of it is not to actually pay you. It's to get you so addicted to getting paid for easy tasks that you will pay to unlock with the expectation that you're going to make back more. But then it's like a gambling cycle, and you never make back the more. So just don't do it. The first time they tell you got to pay money to unlock the next task, be out. I'm out. Delete. Okay. So that's another way to protect yourself. Another way to protect yourself is somebody's trying to do some gift card flim flam. Never give anybody gift card numbers over the phone. Okay. If they're sending you a gift card, that's your gift card. If it's not drained. All right. That's a whole nother podcast. We talked about that before. Okay. But if they're trying to access your account, if they're trying to access your logins, if they're trying to do this or that, do not give them the numbers over the phone. Do not give them your codes over the phone. Especially like when you get a one-time code to log into something and they want you to give it to them over the phone, don't you give them access to your bank account. Now, and this isn't just the job. So this isn't just the job, but that $35,000 check, and we're still figuring out the legalities of how to report this and what to do about it, because it happened in another state. That was supposed to be a scholarship. Now, had it been brought to mama, we would have known that right away. But it wasn't brought to mama. So anything like that, I was like, well, how did they even get the ability to do that? I was like, you have 2-factor authorization set up on the account. And he was like, yeah, but they called me and I gave them the number over the phone. Do not ever, not never, ever, not never, never, nope, nope,
Ever,
nope.
Ever, nobody.
Nope on a rope. Do not give anybody your 2-factor authorization codes, your gift card codes, any kind of codes. If they're supposed to be paying you, they can have an online setup through Plaid or something like that, something reputable. They can do all kinds of other things. Bring it to me first and I will evaluate it for you free of charge. But I want you to keep your money in your pocket. All right. Well, that was a little bit longer than I thought we were going to do because we were so late and the internet has not been cooperating, but it actually cooperated for the last 22 minutes. So praise the Lord. I hope you enjoyed that. And we'll probably make this into a welcome back podcast. But next week, it is my intention to actually show you about our trip, show you some of the things that we did over the summer, starting with our Juneteenth conference and going all the way to our trip to PA. Can't wait to do that with y'all next week, as well as answer some of your questions. All right, that's all I've got for you today. Take care and be blessed.
It's the superhero, Mama Conway.
Okay, I'm not.
And her trusty sidekick, Gabriel Conway. Wait, no.
Stop. Just stop.
Okay.
Just stop. We're cutting that part out.
Little Conway.
Okay. Good night, everybody. Bye.
Oh.
No, we're not doing victories. We're not doing devil signs. Close those like that. There you go. That's better. All right. Thank you.